Holy, now forgive me for my voice, okay? However, people, a lot of times niggas be knowing, but you can't really act like you know, because if you act like you know, they say you getting federal and you telling. However, people in Atlanta have been trying to convince the DA that YSL is only a record label. Now, according to the prosecutor, YSL is more than a record label. They're a gang. Now, how could they get that to be proven? Okay? Now, enter a guy named Jaden Myrick. Now, this is going to sound very bizarre because I can't even understand why he took the stand to begin with. He was actually just sentenced to 3 life sentences without parole. He'll never get out. Now, the reason why he got sentenced to life is because he did a murder back in 2018 when there were 4 people that were attending a wedding. He went to rob them. Basically, he took some stuff from one guy. He left. The guy chased after him. And when the guy caught up with him, he killed the guy. Okay? Now, in trying to save himself in trial, he took the stand and actually testified, which, by the way, he knows he's going to wait for life, but his testimony is just helping the prosecutor further know and further realize what's going on with this YSL situation. Now, while he was on the stand, he said a few things. Number one, he said he was a member of the YSL gang, not the record label, the YSL gang. He also said he was part of 9 Treys, which is also a gang. He also said he was part of 4PF, which he claimed was on some record label stuff, but he kind of hinted towards that being a gang. Essentially, this guy, who isn't connected to the YSL case, is just one of the few people that is basically pushing forward the propaganda that all of these guys that have labels in Atlanta are having quasi record labels and quasi street gangs. Okay? Now, you're probably saying, well, if he's not connected to the case, like, this doesn't hurt Thug. They can't use an unrelated case to hurt Thug. Well, ironically, okay, he basically also admitted on the stand that he not only is a YSL gang member, but he attempted to intimidate and threaten witnesses in the case. Now, he's also named in a separate complaint where he's supposedly the guy accused of trying to shank rapper YFN Lucci in February at the Fulton County Jail. Now, here's what I'm trying to tell y'all. They're basically tying everything together because according to the prosecutors, YFN is a gang, YSL is a gang, they're embroiled in some violent murderous gang beef, and even if they don't have a person in the indictment, if they could show that the person is claiming YSL and is trying to hurt somebody from YFN, is kind of also going forward to show that, number one, nobody ain't getting out of jail in the YSL indictment because they're going to be saying that witnesses are being threatened, and also goes to prove their case in them trying to convince the judge or a jury that YSL isn't only a record label, it's a full gang. Okay? This is kind of confusing because, again, the dude testified and admitted all of this stuff and essentially got 3 life sentences. Makes no sense. Like, if you're going to get them life sentences, why even say anything? I don't know. Anyway, the tensions are high in Atlanta. I've talked to a bunch of rappers who, do street or rap street material, and everybody shook because they don't want their name called up in a RICO, and I could see why. They're tying anybody who claim your gang, who did something, who continue to do something, or threaten people to. They're using that info to keep people in jail, to file charges, and it's kind of nasty out there, okay? So this guy hopped up on a stand and just basically said, YSL's a gang, and he's also in 4PF. Jesus. Pray for all these Atlanta rappers. Hope the innocent ones don't get caught up in the mess, and hope the ones who actually do terrorize the community, they realize that Atlanta's just not playing, okay? Anyway, get in the comments, guys. Like and subscribe to Akademiks.